Now I'm going to ask a man. Are men allowed to have standards?
Not without being judged.
Right.
Basically, if you say that you prefer slim women that go to the gym, then women are going to say you're discriminating against
Fatphobic.
women. Yeah. So it's best to stay quiet, to be honest. Just keep your opinions to yourself and just do.
And that's something I've been saying. Women can list every single thing that they want. Say like 6 foot, Bill, Idris looking. They could say all that. But a man says skinny. Oh my gosh. Where's the pitchforks? We want to kill him. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. And mind you, the 6 foot, you can't just grow after 25 or 24. You can't just keep growing. Doesn't work like that. And then the 6-figure thing, it takes a minute to get there.
When Kevin Samuels said that men generally don't want baby mamas and fat chicks, women went crazy. But when women say they don't want short guys and broke guys, everyone's cool.
Yeah, like men get abused.
They don't want no scrubs.
Men get abused. I feel sorry for short men. Like if you're under 6 foot, I feel sorry for you. If you're broke, I feel sorry for you.
Well, listen, honestly, I've known, and I don't know if this is the case for most guys. You guys can let me know in the comments. But I know a few short guys who actually do get, they get theirs. It's not like, oh, they're not going to get any type of, at least, I say action by, like, dating, not necessarily, like, there are short guys who definitely get some. I'm not sure, though, if it's a common thing. I think, because I feel like I keep seeing, like, how short guys get no type of play at all. And I'm like, no, I think they do. I just know it's not probably as much as maybe a guy who's 6 foot and taller.
I found out a crazy stat. 80% of women have their height filter set to what?
6 foot.
6 foot?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 80% of women.
It's deep, like,
and that's only
what, like on dating apps?
And dating apps. That's only so. A lot of girls will say my height or taller,
because only 50%.
But 80%. If you're on a dating app, there's an 80% chance.
It's deep though, because like as a man, like you can't control how tall you grow. Do you know what I mean?
But you can control how big you are.
Yeah, but then most men want aesthetically pleasing women, and you can't pick that either.
Of course you can.
You can.
No, you can make yourself look better.
You can make, but if you're...
You can in terms of, like, just size. Like, aesthetically pleasing for, I think, general, and it's crazy how this has kind of gotten to a point of just, like, it's fat phobic, but it's like, it's not. Like, obesity makes you not uglier, and that's not to be mean, but it does. Ideally, skinnier looks better on everyone. And we all kind of know what kind of comes with that size. So, like, diabetes, sickness, joint pain, maybe a shorter lifespan. It's a lot of bad things that come with being a little bit heavier. So it's not necessarily aesthetically pleasing in terms of, like, face and hair and things. Like, you can't control stuff like that. But at least skinny. Bare minimum, it makes sense. In terms of life, your quality of life is usually a lot better when you're skinnier.
Quote unquote pretty. There's only so much to scrub up. That's a standard of how you want to look.
I feel like most girls can't become like if you're a 5'6", you can't really become like an 8.
Exactly.
But I do think that no girl is really gonna be below a 5 if she's in shape.
And you can be short and have a lot of money and no one will care. You can be fat and have a lot of money.
I want to stop you there, because you know how much harder it is to make money than to go to the gym and get in shape.
No, I'm talking about your face. I'm talking about
no, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because like a guy will go for a girl that's face, but if her body is banging, she'll bust case.
That's true.
She'll bust case.
That's true.
But just get rich.
I'm not saying get rich. I'm saying be financially secure.
Even still, you know how hard that is.
It is
just to be stable.
It is difficult, but it's possible.
Yeah, but it's possible.
I mean, are you there? Is she in the middle there? Is she in the left there? Like, are you guys there? Because it's like, once you get there, you will understand how difficult it is when you're there. The difficulty in order to get to being financially stable takes time. It takes a lot of late nights, work ethic. It's a lot. You're asking for, like, how it takes, or like, well, I got there. I need to hear her speak to know if she's like, oh, like if she is an entrepreneur or something like that, because you're talking like, oh, well, you can get there. All right, then you get there.
I'm not saying it's the same. I'm never saying that anything is the same. I'm saying it's possible.
Okay,
the level of the playing field is never equal for anyone, but you can still get your job done.
An interesting stat: if a guy is 5'5", how much more does he have to make to have the same options as a guy that's it was either 5'10" or 6 foot?
Yeah, but why do you need the same options? You just
no,
need enough
okay,
to be able to pick the girl that you want. Like,
Okay.
why do you want to be
Well,
like?
but
Okay,
that's what she's saying. How much would it be to at least get one of like the options that 5'10" and up guys might get? If you're short, I don't know. I would assume maybe like 6 figures. I don't know. I would imagine somewhere around the 6-figure range.
Instead of attacking the question, why don't you just give me an answer?
what's the question?
How much more does he have to make to
How
the same
hot is he?
options as a guy that's 6
Are you
foot?
asking me for a figure?
Guess.
Yes.
I don't have a figure for you.
No, I'm saying guess.
Answer
I don't
the
know.
question.
Okay.
5 to 10.
5 to 10,000
6
more.
figures, I'm saying.
What do you think?
Probably like 15-20% more than the general person.
He has to make 300,000 more
Mm.
to have the same options as a guy that's 6 foot.
Can I just say something? What I noticed, right, is that most women, like me, I'll say I'm a 4 or 5.
Did y'all hear that? Because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And then to still possibly get rejected. Like if they dragging Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart's fit, he looks handsome and whatever, but if they dragging him with all the money he has, as big as he's gotten, how much more a regular Joe Schmo is? That's a crazy figure.
Everybody's like, yeah, 32 years, because I'm over average man, because I'm an average woman.
And that's what I'm saying.
And he just makes me feel more than average. And I think I must be about 5'5". He's about 5'6". He's had a 9-to-5 job for God knows however long. And I might have more property than him, but he's got more cash than me.
Right.
And that's okay.
So you balance each other
And
out.
that's okay.
Yeah.
You guys are saying that
And
he wants
that-
to be trying to aim
People
for
that
one
want
of the
got this
guys, and he doesn't.
impossibility, this impossible. It's like they want a man that's got this, they want a man that's got that, and then when they don't, and then they look back, like my man, I don't think anybody, he was always handsome in my eyes, but everybody thought that they can do better. But he's like one of those slow growers. He was always there. He always had potential. And even when I earn more than him, he still gives me money.
Her saying that because I grew up with that as well, like seeing the men just give their wives money, and it's a very loving gesture. Like I don't look at it as like an allowance or something like that, but it is like take care of yourself, have fun. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain. I would love to know how you guys feel about like, especially any men that are watching, about giving your wife money. Like, because I don't know too many people outside of like my cultural Nigerian family. I'm wondering, do other people do that? Do they do it in American families? Do they do it in like Middle Eastern I think it's common. I feel like with Eastern families, I think so. I'm not sure. I just want to know how you guys feel about it.
Doesn't come
The
into it
difference is
whatsoever.
back then average women would date average guys. Well, now they don't. Like women only swipe right on dating apps 5% of the time. So essentially 100% of women are fighting over 5% of men on dating apps. It's the number one way people meet today. A lot of people say it's not real, but it's the number one way people are meeting. And the data is indicating we're sharing these guys. And
That is so
80% of women put their height filter as 6 foot or more. 80% of women, or no, 100% of women. Wait, 80% of women rate 80% of men as unattractive. That's what it is.
Oh.
So it's like average women don't want average men.
But you know what's interesting? 80% of women will rate men. What is it?
Oh, sorry. Women rate 80% of men as
They
unattractive.
will rate 80%
yeah.
of men as unattractive, but those women that are doing that have other people's hair on their head. They have makeup on. They have makeup on their face. They have fake nails. They have fake eyelashes.
Fake lips.
Fake lips.
Filler.
And I've always said
Botox.
the whole thing. And I'd said, if you were to literally, like Kevin, strip yourself back, take all the hair off your head that's not yours, take your makeup off, have a shower. Come out the shower. Let me see exactly what you look like, right? Let me see exactly what you look like when you go to bed. Because what it is that a lot of modern women think that they are 8s, 9s, and 10s. And they're really 5s, bro.
You see
they're
what
like 5s.
And that's not a problem. That's the thing. It's not a problem, but you gotta be realistic. Like, you have to understand what's in the mirror and be like, okay, this is like, because I disagree with Pearl and like, you can't make yourself an 8. You can definitely make yourself an 8 if you're like a 5. I feel like, makeup, things like that. You can definitely change yourself to make yourself an 8. As we've seen with like TV shows like that That's So Raven episode, they literally just cut his hair, they took off his glasses, gave him a new outfit, and he went from like a 4 to an 8. Clearly it can be done in a very real way. A lot of women that I've seen do makeup sometimes, it is catfishing because you do not look like that. And it's not fair. I've seen this argument of like, well, he should love me as I am, but you're not coming to him as you are. You are coming to him full face, full head of hair, all these like different things. And it's like, you know what happens when you take it off. And I'm not including people who wear like light makeup or people who do like a natural like hairstyles. You guys don't really count in my opinion because you're still very close to what you actually look like. But I've met girls where in private, you know, it's two different people. I had a friend. I had known her for like over at least 5 years, maybe 4 years at that time. And there was supposed to be like some water trip we were supposed to go on in my school. She came to school one day and I came into class and I was just like, oh, hey, are you new? Because that's how bad. For 4 years, I had no idea that this girl was wearing makeup, or maybe 5 years that this girl was wearing a full face of makeup every single day. That's how much different she looked when she had taken off the makeup. That's crazy. Had she not even spoken, I was gonna be very confused. I get it if you're like covering up acne scars, you're covering up bags, you're covering up birthmarks, things like that. And I get it that maybe people won't like it. But I do feel like you should just come what your natural face is first, because more often than not, no one's hating your actual face. They're just not, because you can't hate it. Because if a guy had a clip-on beard, if James Harden today was just like, oh, the beard isn't mine, y'all not dealing with that. Y'all not gonna be okay with that at all. You know, we already know LeBron and his thing, or if Odell took off his mohawk, that's a very weird example. All this makeup is just a marketing thing, you know, to feed into women's insecurities, because L'Oreal has this like ploy, the marketing of it, just like, do it for yourself because you're worth it. If I'm worth it, I don't need you. Y'all be like pulling off your eyelashes and, you know, taking off the makeup and the concealer and foundation, and it reveals a completely different person. And it's like, from a guy's perspective, I fell in love with the other woman who was like a dime. And now I'm here with you who's like a 5. And maybe he would have liked a 5 and maybe thought you were more like a dime if he had just seen the 5 first. But y'all don't be giving them the option first to see that first.
You see
5s and
what it is?
3/4.
It's like you got a lot of average women. They want access to the 1% of men. Do you know what I mean? And that's because of obviously enhancements, filters, etc. And then you got hella simps just gassing you up. So you got loads of people just feeding into this like false sense of like entitlement that you don't have really, because when it comes down to it, the 1% that you're going for, they're never going to take you seriously.
And that comes down to the communication as well, because this show is like about communication. Like the way in which I've seen some women communicate with men, right? That you're on the same level. Don't communicate with that man like you're above the level. You're above his level. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're communicating with that man in a certain way because you've got other people's hair on your head and you've got your makeup on and you've got your lashes on and you've got your nails on. But you wouldn't communicate with that guy the same way if you just stepped out the shower with nothing like that on.
And a lot of times, like, women won't trust a man's judgment unless he makes over a certain amount of money. And because a lot of times I ask the question, like, would you quit your job if your man told you to? And like, how much money would he have to make for him to do that? And most of the time it's like top 5, top 10% of income. But like, submission is trusting a man's judgment, but average men can't get submission anymore. Because women are fighting over 5% of the dating market, 10% of the dating. That's why women say men are trash, toxic ex. Like, if you have an ex that cheated, he was probably top 20% of men. Yeah. Most men don't get sex like that.
No. Do you know what I hate as well is when you got like really bang average guys that will come out and they'll say, yeah, like I've never cheated, I've never stepped out, never done this, but like you don't have the option to. So like it's different when you've got like the 1% of guys with all the options in the world. There's more credit to those guys for actually staying faithful, because it's a lot more difficult than the guy that you've had that's like just bang average.
It's like it's a mating strategy. It's like it's a way that men can offer long-term security to women. Is they'll like say, I'm not like these guys, those guys are bad. And so it's like
the way women fall for that line, I don't get it. I don't even understand how that works. But and maybe, I don't know, maybe because I watch TV. I don't know. Like, I've seen it in the movies. You see it with the jocks in the high school movies. You see it in the rom-coms. Like, when he says stuff like that, run, like, you would think it'd be like, just go. But people still get, and I don't know, maybe guys are saying it in a specific kind of way. Maybe they're doing it, like, under the moonlight. I don't know. One of the most interesting phrases I've ever heard when it comes to, like, people in general is that a good person never has to tell you they're a good person. And obviously that doesn't apply to everyone, like every situation, but especially when it comes to guys, I've seen like a nice guy doesn't have to tell you he's a nice guy. All the nice men that I've known, that I've grown up with, my freaking mailman, they like, I highly doubt they ever said that they were nice guys. Cause it like you just see it by their action, by their look, how they walk, how they talk. You can just see. And it's sad that like, you know, we're in this generation right now of so many women who don't have dads or male figures in their life. So they hear that and it's wrong. Like, you don't have to tell me you're not like other guys. I can put that together myself. You telling me that is now setting off a red flag. Like the red flag is waving. Because what you got, why are you telling me that? I can put it together on my own. I don't need you to tell me you're not like the other guys. Show me you're not like the other guys.
Mating strategy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying, I just think when it comes to the cheating thing, I just think men are built differently to women, no matter how we try to go around it. How I might feel when I see somebody that I think's attractive, I wouldn't go and do it because I'm a woman and I'm not made in that way. Men are stimulated in a different way and they go for what they want. So I feel like the cheating thing's very...
What's my saying? Men will have sex with a hole in all.
Cheating is honestly not the worst thing that can happen in a relationship, especially when you learn to be secure, especially when you understand the real concept of, and I don't like people throwing this whole loyalty, love, exclusivity. A man can be loyal to you in terms of showing up for you when you need him to. In terms of being committed to you, can also do that and still cheat. Like it's like, I think there's a lot of insecurity and possessiveness that I think you were speaking about earlier that is rooted in some of these relationships that makes women want to hold on to this is mine. And it's like, he can be there for you and give you everything that you wanted. Make your list, create your menu. That man can give you everything on that menu and still cheat, and it does not take away from who you are. Like,
Andrew Tate said, it was very interesting. Andrew Tate said, women don't understand what loyalty is because they think that a man being loyal to them is never cheating.
Right.
But a man... He used a scenario of someone who likes apples. If a man always eats apples, doesn't mean he's loyal to apples. The man that's loyal to apples eats apples all the time and then eats a strawberry, but always comes back to apples. He eats a banana, but always comes back to apples. And that is what loyalty is. Loyalty means if there's no alternative, I have no choice but to be loyal to you. And loyalty to a man, the way men see it, is like, but I'm always coming back to you. That means I don't care about these other, it's just something
That's really sad though. I understand what he's saying and I don't know if he's trying to say like, you know, men will cheat, but as long as he's a good man, as long as he's coming back to you, it's okay. I'm not really sure what he's trying to go at with this last point because cheating to me is very at the top of like ruining a marriage, right? It's horrible. You completely broken the trust. And I understand as a man, you can go have sex with anything, you won't be attached. And I get that. But I do think loyalty is though staying with the apples. Like, I understand you can try the other fruits and you always come back to the apple, but you shouldn't have left because the women aren't leaving. So when you leave, like, why would you expect to come and the person's still waiting? It doesn't make any sense. I understand you're still loyal, but it's like, you did just break the trust. You shouldn't be expecting them to still be waiting.